Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. In this video I have for you game 2 of a best of 3 between Nilla and Frubblord in the playoffs of Season 2 of the Steel Division League. In this one they are playing on Haroshaje, and on the Soviet side we have Nilla using the 44th Guards Rifles and the Vanguard deployment type, and on the Axis side we have Frubblord using Ryhmä Raappana and the flatline deployment type. So Frubblord mixing it up a little bit, switching back to Axis for this one, played Soviet previously. And the bans have changed up a bit, so let's go through those. So Nilla has banned Frubblord from playing the Pansari, the 78th Sturm, the Fallschirmpanzer Hermann Göring Division, and 1st Lovash. Frubblord banned Nilla from playing the 3rd Guards Tank Corps, the 1st Polish, the 26th Guards Rifles, and Maneuver Group Churin. So it looks like Frubblord doesn't want to experience the same division from the first game, forcing Nilla to switch things up a little bit, which I think is smart in order to get back the momentum in a best of 3. I think that's definitely necessary, so great job by him for choosing to do so. It's going to be interesting to see the flatline go up against Vanguard. Vanguard has to put extra effort into winning early against flatline, because flatline has the income advantage from phase B. Not as heavily as something like Maverick or Balanced, but flatline also has that strong presence in A. So Vanguard just has to do that little bit better against flatline, otherwise you can really be in trouble. Either way, let's have a look at some of the units going down. So we'll jump over to Nilla's side of things first of all. So on the top side, a couple of snipers. There's also going to be a Gvardia there and an OB-25. That's the infantry gun. Further down, we see the Ognemachiki squads. Those are the 2-man flamers, followed up by 2 Tanko Desarniki. These are the 8-man squads with Molotovs. Then further down, we see 3 more flamers at the front, going to be followed up by 4 units of Gvardia DP. Those are your standard line infantry with an extra machine gun. And then 2 more Tanko Desarniki. Also 2 AA pieces from the start, as well as the commander. Further down, we do see the Ognemachiki, 3 more of those, and another infantry gun. So Nilla relying quite heavily on his flamers at the start. But interesting to see the use of 2 AA pieces from the start, which makes sense. Ryhmä Raappana has some really good aircraft to bring in. On the top side, we do see for Frubblord the Taka Ampuja. These are really nice sniper squads. They have 2 sniper rifles in the squad, which makes them very efficient at cutting down enemy units. There's a Sisi squad, also got a machine gun in there, and one of those AT guns. We see the Ratsuvaki and the Yakari. Actually going to be 2 squads of the Yakari and a Ratsuvaki leader following that all up. Further down we see the Ratsuvaki again, as well as a leader following, and 2 more Yakari. And then there's the Sisi, and at the bottom we see more Taka Ampuja, another Sisi, more Ratsuvaki, Yakari, and also that's going to be followed up by a bunch of the 76mm infantry guns. So a massive infantry start from Frubblord. No tanks to be seen. I think the only tanks that he can get though are T-26s, and they are very slow. So it's not something you generally see from the beginning, because they just take so long to get to the front line. Obviously you want to be contesting the front line as quickly as possible, which is why there's a massive favour towards fast transports, like these Ognemachiki in the jeeps, and for example the Taka Ampuja in the motorcycles. Let's have a look at the orders. Nilla's already unloaded his Zobi on the top side, but Nilla getting quite aggressive into the town. Frubblord deploying a little bit more defensively, but going balls to the walls in the top and bottom side. So the Sisi here, the Ratsuvaki, and the Yakari pushing up hard, and the OB hasn't fired yet. It keeps losing its targeting because these transports are moving too fast. It looks like Frubblord's going to get a lot of ground on the bottom side completely uncontested so far. Not sure if the Obi managed to get any shots off, but the Taka Ampuya manages to unload the Gvardia into the town. The Maxim is going to get into the building there, and that's going to have to move forwards in order to be effective in this fight. The Sisi, though, opening up with their scoped SVT. Ratsovaki also now trying to get involved. We do see the Blenheim coming in. That's going to be dropping its bombs, but instantly shot down. The commander sitting by two-star 37 mils now, and that plenum was not long for this world, but a lovely bombing strike does take out the leader actually, which severely reduces the effectiveness of these Gvardia. They are no longer 3-star, they are in fact 1-star. It's a big difference. On the top side, the Rastavaki pushing up hard with the support of the Sisi and the Yakari. Nice job so far. And on the bottom, well, the Oknemachiki have managed to push and capture the flag on Frubblord's side of things, but that's a lot of infantry that Frubblord has in the face of Nilla. Nilla's going to be bringing up a couple of Tanko Desaniki, but going to be bumping into a ton of infantry, and these all have the Finnish submachine guns, which are fantastic. That was a large explosion though from the Su-152 at the back. Not quite enough to allow the Tanko Desaniki to win the engagement. So, Frubblord going to take control of that flag for now. Just needs to clean up these flamer squads so that he can push forwards with the Yakari once again. Now, a big problem I do see is, although Frubblord has ground on the top and bottom side of the map, he is certainly relinquishing the town to Nilla right now. And there are a lot of flags in the town on this map. It's not something you can necessarily afford to lose. There's 5 flags in such a small area, and so Nilla's taking full advantage of that, whilst Frubblord's having to push that much further to find his flags. Now he's pushing 14 to 10, found influence briefly over this flag, but on the top side this is where the ground really is for Frubblord at the moment. Managing to surrender that unit does do him a lot of favours, as it solidifies these 2 flags until the Su-152 arrives. Oh, we're going to see the use of the I-153s on the bottom side. These aircraft are fantastic value for money. They have AT rockets, and they make short work of the Su-152. Now the Sisi, Yakari, and the Ratsuvaki doing work against the Gvardia, who also got pinned down by that rocket strike. So fantastic job from Frubblord. Didn't cue his evac Winchester though. May have been a little bit of a mistake, because it might actually cause this I-153 to get shot down. Big win actually for Nilla coming out of that. Now on the top side, the Yakari pushing up has caught some of Nilla's Gvardia off guard. And Nilla losing 3 units of infantry before he unloads. Big mistake from Nilla. Not something you see too often, especially on that scale. Big mistake, because now Frubblord completely outnumbers the Gvardia DP that Nilla is trying to use, and well, Frubblord's going to control that top side for even longer now. Now, since Frubblord has got such a sort of commanding position on the top and bottom side, this is something that Nilla's really going to have to focus a lot of resources to, because although he's going to end up controlling most of the flags in the town by the looks of things, there's just more flags on the side of the map at the moment that are in control of Frubblord. That's not something you often see, because generally these flags further back are a lot easier to contest. So for example, if Nilla put 1 infantry into here, he could secure that flag more or less for the rest of the game, because he's way closer to his spawn there, could bring up Su-152s to stop anything coming down the ridge, and that's just an easy cap back. This flag, for example, is completely undefended. Of course, Nilla doesn't know that. And the other thing about this flag here is you've got to reinforce on this road actually, not this road. So he would have to drive a unit up here and then cross, which is kind of a bit awkward. And sometimes when you're just struggling to micro across an entire map, that can be a bit of a pain. So anyway, on the bottom side, Sisi, Rastavaki, and the Yakari doing fantastic work. All their SVTs firing away. The Gvardia DP at this range do actually carve up the Yakari quite a bit. Rastavaki though have been showing up, especially with the help of the Rastavaki leader behind them. It's interesting to see that Nilla still has a few units hanging around in the rear side. But good to see Frubblord taking advantage of the places where there aren't any AA. The Blenheim coming in with the two 250 kilogram bombs, I believe those are, for the kill onto this Gvardia squad. Nicely done. Rastavaki going to try and get on top of the Gvardia there, supported by the Yakari. I think Frubblord's infantry play so far on the top and bottom side has really done him a lot of favours and kept him in a game that would otherwise be very one-sided towards Nilla right now. The I-153 actually used here to rocket the OB. Looks like the OB managed to catch out a unit of infantry coming down this road and therefore revealed its position. And with the Gvardia continuing their engagement, Frubblord does have to be a little bit careful. He can't lose these two-man squads, otherwise he will lose a lot of the territory that he's gained so far. The Rastavaki will of course still be alive, but the Gvardia DP squads will make short work of that. These Yakari are going to have to get over there ASAP. Looks like this infantry gun's trying to do work. The Ognemechiki have already taken out one of them though. This one burning to the flames, and Nilla likely going to run over and try and take out the other to stop them from firing onto the Gvardia DP in the center. Now the 37 mils are actually being pushed up aggressively by Nilla, and this could be a mistake if he allows Frubblord's infantry to overwhelm them. As you can see, the 37s are currently engaging the Yakari, but it took a health point of damage, and although that may not seem significant now, as soon as like a proper squad like a Rastavaki or a Yakari starts fighting these 37 mils at like a mid-range engagement, there's going to be trouble. This is a bit of a silly mistake from Frubblord though. He certainly knows those 37s are there. Is he going to lose his I-153 for it? Yes, he is. Was it worth killing the T-34? In terms of points, no. But his Laheto Junta will struggle to kill a T-34 with their AT rifle, but they're not going to struggle to kill infantry with their TNT. So that, whilst it looks bad on paper, probably a really good move for Frubblord to get value out of the other units that he has in the town. Now Ognemechiki are going to take out the other infantry gun on the ridge there. Nicely done by Nilla. Rastavaki are getting cleaned up on the bottom side, and you can see that the Rastavaki leader squad was also taken out, so that was made short work of by the Gvardia, and now a T-34 76 1942 coming in to back things up. I can't help but both this point and this point could have been resecured by Nilla sooner, saving him way more tickets in this game so far, but either way, he's done a good job to start to clean up the infantry on the bottom side, which are very overextended, and it does take a lot of time to get more infantry towards these flags again. And with this OB-25 that just hasn't been dealt with, it makes it even harder. So Frubblord looks like he's going to lose control of the bottom side. Nilla still controlling most of the town. These four flags have been under control of Nilla for most of the game so far. This one Lahador Junta just stopping that from being the case at the moment. We're going to see the Blenheim come in and bomb the OB, but it looks like it's actually going to miss. I think Frubblord probably used a fire position order on that OB and assumed that it might have retreated a little after the initial strike, but Nilla still got it on the edge, and therefore the bombing strike misses. 82 mil mortar going to be coming in with some smoke rounds to allow the Avtos to get on top of the Yakari. The Yakari still going to do plenty of damage though to the Avtos because of the Molotovs, so got to be very careful. And the Rastavaki there, wow, that's a serious amount of damage coming down onto the Avtos at mid-range. The smoke not quite in the right place. Yakari going to go down very quickly to the Tanko Desaniki and the Avtos. Nilla was prepared for a Molotov to be thrown his way. You saw him try and dodge the infantry preemptively. In this engagement, Yakari They are pretty good at close range compared to the Gavardia, because they do have their 3 submachine guns and 6 rifles, which they can all use at close range. And with the Molotovs on top, making the Gavardia move, you can see the Gavardia do take more damage, because when infantry squads are on the move, they lose their entrenchment bonus. And that's something to keep in mind when playing yourself, guys. Either way, Yakari forced to unload under fire from the OB. Looks like another transport went down there. Not sure if the squad got killed though, because this might have been the squad that was in that truck. Either way, these Yakari are managing to make it up here. The Blenheim is going to be coming in with the bombing strike, and that's going to allow Frubblord to completely ignore that and continue on his merry way. Needs to get on top of the T-34 85 1943 and the 1942 ASAP. Looks like the Yakari going to be going for the Panzerfaust shot. Will they get it? The Panzerfaust has been fired, but it missed. For that Yakari, there's going to be another Panzerfaust coming in shortly. Nilla going to be microing away from that. Can't see the second squad. It misses again, and Nilla might just manage to save his T-34 76 after that. It depends how far he decides to fall back. He's really got to take that away from the engagements, just like he's doing with the T-34 85. You can't risk a Panzerfaust getting in range. Trying to keep it in range of the squad though, so they can pin it down and then maybe run back and surrender them. Either way, on the top side, some artillery coming down the off map from the 152mm is hitting quite nicely, but ends up pinning down some of Nilla's own infantry. Not sure if it really hit much of the infantry that Frubblord had here initially. Saying that, T-26Bs getting in a nice position to shoot down that road. Oh, another I-153 coming into the center to rocket, I assume, a T-34, but it does go down. Damn, that must be like the last shot from the 37mm. That is unlucky for Frubblord. I thought he was out of there. Either way, Yakari give up on the chase on the T-34 76 1942. Just going to look to get more positioning on this bottom side as the Sapori and the Gavardia DP advance onto the flag. On the top side, Frubblord starting to become under pressure, but the off-map in a rather odd position again. It looks like it's landing further back. Completely ignored these buildings so far. Maybe with the fire coming in from the 2 Yakari squads, the next strike will come down on this section of buildings, which would be very smart in order to clean that out and also pick up this flag that Frubblord's currently holding on to. Blenheim does come in with the bombing strike. That is going to hit some of the Gavardia and allows the T-26B, more importantly, to move forwards and surrender. Very crucial indeed. Mortar fire coming down onto the Rastavaki and the Yakari, and it looks like that might be a triple surrender for Nilla. Nicely done indeed. Keeps the infantry pinned. Didn't need the off-map after all. Might favour the off-map for taking care of the T-26Bs, although he does have a T-34 1942 that might just get the job done. T-34 76 was trying to cut off the reinforcements on the bottom side, but did come up against the AT gun here. This is a Pak 38. Gun jammed. Nilla's going to try and get it out of there. Well, it just fall back on its own. Get shot in the sidearm, and that's going to go down. P2 now being used to clean up another T-34 in the center, and I think basically what Frubblord's trying to do here, crack down on the armor of Nilla so that his infantry can get back some ground in the center. Either way, concentrations of forces all over the place. Very, very nice to see the players focusing on all parts of the map. Yakari in a bit of a scary position there. The Ratsavaki behind. The Gavardia DP are going to be running onto them, and having revealed themselves will come under a lot of fire, but is that in range of the Yakari's submachine guns? It is. So the Gavardia DP squad there is going to get ripped up, especially without the support of the other Gavardia DP who are struggling to find line of sight right now. Nilla really needs to let the PTRD of this Gavardia fire at the T-26B. Does get into the building there, job done. Now the Gavardia can focus on the Yakari and the Ratsavaki instead. A nice Molotov there comes down on one of the Gavardia DP. Looks like this Rastovaki will be revealed soon. Will likely go down very quickly with the T-3476 in support. Either way, on the bottom side, Frubblord holding on, but not to any flags. His infantry is just maintaining a position on the high ground so that he can potentially reinforce the bottom side, but I feel like he might end up giving up on this attack. Don't really see many reinforcements. Saying that, more Rastovaki on the way. They are being brought up to this flag, however. Maybe he's just going to put it more defensively, or he's bringing them in on the bottom side so that he can attack the town from a different direction, which is smart because it means that this T-3476 doesn't have so much control on the map. Got a bunch of artillery back here that's going to be trying to pin down infantry and maybe even do some damage to the T-3476. Meanwhile, on the top side, the rest of the infantry has now been cleaned up. Nice pushback from Nilla. Gonna go 14-10 on the map. And if Nilla does maintain control of the sides of this map, he's definitely going to win because of his overall control in the center town, which is vital. By the way, we are going to see a Ju-88A4 with the multiple 50-kilogram bombs. Nice carpet bomber. Probably not going to do too much damage to the squads, but certainly going to pin them down. Only ends up pinning down a couple. Not the most effective bombing strike I've seen. Maybe was looking to kind of thread the needle close to his own infantry squad so that he could get some surrenders in there, but didn't quite hit the mark. Sapuri though, damn, they're taking a lot of damage to the Rastovaki. They're not in range to throw their TNT, so no close range HE damage going to come into effect, and the Gvardia do struggle at close range. And we see the Blenheim coming in. You can see he's targeting just behind the infantry, so it pins down the infantry, then his own infantry can surrender rather than surrender them rather than killing the squads themselves. But looks like it didn't quite hit the mark again. Couple of whiffed bombing strikes, gonna cost him the high ground. Instead though, he can solidify his position in these tree lines, and that's gonna be very difficult actually for Nilla to push across as long as this AT gun stays alive. We are going to see a unit of infantry die there as they push into the town. And now the Gvardia and the Sapuri getting on top of a Rastovaki. The HE does come down. That is a very dead Rastovaki squad, cleaned up so quickly indeed. Sisi engaging with their sniper from a distance. Might help pin the Sapuri squad. The Rastovaki clean up the Gvardia. Can the Avtos save the day? They won't if they are shot at from a distance, that's for sure. Either way, it's gone back to 16-8. Vanilla now. Frubblord is in trouble. And this T-3476 is pushing up very aggressively. The artillery is actually firing at it with AP shells. Gets the job done. Fantastic. On the top side, T-3476. The Pak-38 is going to move up and attempt to take that out. Lahetoryunta, Rastovaki, all on their way. Looks like maybe Frubblord accidentally unloaded his Lahetoryunta early. Is a bit of a mistake, but either way, Blenheim and the PE2 coming in. Air support on the way to try and take care of the T-34. The Pak-38 can clean up the T-34 if this fails to get the kill. Very unlikely. The PE3, or PE2, sorry. Quite reliable rocket aircraft. But Frubblord definitely going to want to take back as much land as he can as quickly as possible, because doesn't want to be suffering a double tick, which he currently is at 15-9. At 14-9 it only goes down to single tick. At 15-9 double tick. And what that means is it's going to take half as long for him to lose. Either way, Rastovaki engaging the Gvardia at closer range is actually good for them since they have better submachine guns. So these Gvardia against the Rastovaki will most likely lose. The Lahetoryunta looking for the last infantry squad in these trees, and you can see Frubblord's using his hunt command to find that. In the town, the Gvardia engagement with the Rastovaki from a distance. Gonna end up going in favor of the Gvardia, I feel, especially with the low numbers in the Rastovaki squad. Oh, Nilla gonna be coming down with an off-map strike. onto this flag. I don't think he quite realizes that there's nothing there, but just wants to clean that out so that he can make an infantry push. As the front line pushes over, of course, that strike is going to become null and void. More Yakari on the way. Frubblord realizes he's going to have to defend this if he wants to stay in the game. Nilla also using off-map in the center, looking to capture the last town flag. Got to be careful though with this Sapari, for example, that he doesn't get a bit too big for his boots. Doesn't want to lose any squads unnecessarily. Maybe moving it forwards though so that he has some recon information. But there we go. As soon as they get spotted, Rastavaki take them out. And yes, he's found out the Rastavaki are there, but I'm not really sure there's too much he can actually do about it. The Pak 38 using its APCR against the 1943 at the moment, the T-3476 there. Probably not going to have too much penetration chance at that range. The Frubblord might want to get that in cover, allow the T-3485 to get closer, and then try things again. Either way, Blenheim coming in with the bombing strike onto the T-3485 1943. These artillery pieces have all of a sudden become AT guns because they are that far up. There's going to be a bounce off the T-3485. And it looks like these might have almost run out of ammo. Actually, maybe not. And they've still got ammo, they're just pinned down, and this one's probably not in line of sight. So, it's a bit of an awkward spot for Frubblord right now. He's really struggling to deal with the armor. And that's why you could probably see him like sacrificing the I-153s in the early game in order to clean up those tanks. So 8 minutes now until defeat for Frubblord, but he's going to be bringing in a bunch more Kavari. We've got the Yakari on the bottom side now pushing up, looking for the engagement with the Sapuri and the Gavaria. There's also a sniper in there as well. The Yakari with the Molotovs will probably make short work of the sniper at close range, especially with those submachine guns as well. Going to see the Sapuri. They took the Molotov, which is good, but the other Sapuri, the smaller squad, is still quite good at getting its grenade off and does in good time, which is perfect. More Yakari coming in. And, well, pinning down this Sapuri squad is vital. Getting rid of Nilla's close range engagement tool is going to mean that his Yakari have the advantage against the Avto Komroti and the Gavaria DP. The off-map has pinned down this Yakari. Frubblord's going to have to make sure he falls back. Nilla now coming in with a nice off-map strike here. That could really hit the mark. Gavari pushing very hard back into the town. It looks like Frubblord's got more up his sleeve, bringing up even more. And this may come down to infantry availability, because a lot of infantry has been used so far. AU-88 coming in on the bottom side. Blenheim for the town. Frubblord looking up to open some ground. But that's going to stop the Gavaria here from being too much of a problem against his Gavari. Although, did that just bomb his own troops? I feel like that might have been a bit of a misclick. And on the bottom side, well, the bombing strike, yes, it continued to pin down the Sapari, but didn't really do too much damage. Either way, Gavari, oh, nice double surrender there for the Gavari pushing into the town. Frubblord desperately trying to make back some ground. Doesn't take a flag with this push. Really needs to get some troops next to the Rastavaki further up. 17-7 is looking hard to come back from right now. Yakari, more of them coming in on this bottom side. And Nilla also going to be bringing in his own Gavaria. Going to see an Su-152 joining the fray on the top side. Yakari trying to push across the open. But with the position on the hill here, that's a lot of infantry that Frubblord's going to work his way through. Going to require a bomber at least. We are back to 13-11. Frubblord crawling his way back. If he can make more ground in the town, this could certainly flip on its head. PE2 coming in with the rocket strike onto the commander. Does find the kill. Really nice job knowing the damage of the PE2 and understanding he can take out that commander if he wants to. Now the Blenheim coming in. Gonna be bombing the Gvardia and the Avtos. This time the bombing strike actually hitting the mark, hopefully. Nicely done. Gonna allow the Kavari to secure that position. Yakari gonna end up getting on top of the Gvardia and the Avtos here, which will stop Nilla from maybe taking some extra flags on this bottom side. But this Sapuri, very sneaky, going to be running all the way up to the Pack 38 here and taking that out most likely. Yakari coming under fire from Gvardia in the town, need to unload, otherwise they would get killed. Nice off map coming down though onto the Kavari. Nilla now going to try and do what Frubblord just did to him. Speed some infantry squads right into the face of this infantry. That could get a lot of surrenders right now. If he'd saved one of these Gvardia in a truck in order to push up, that could have done a lot of work. Either way, 15-9. Nilla finding more flags once again. Has found the flag on the bottom side. Frubblord going to be bringing in more Kavari to try and save the day. And again, infantry availability might just be the thing that Frubblord wins out on with the Ryhmä Raappana division. Oh, I'm not quite a fan of him unloading all of these as early as he has done. Maybe he's just trying to avoid the off-map hitting him, but doesn't really have time to hesitate right now. Needs to get back these flags and stop that double tick ASAP, or he loses in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Yakari pushing back onto the position of the Gvardia here. Will they manage to break these down in time to grab back land? We'll have to wait and see. Lahetoyunta on the top side. This could be a mistake from Nilla. A big mistake, actually. He's really overextending for the push on this top side. Maybe just trying to seal the deal by taking this flag. But I feel like he had a really good defensive position here. And now if he loses all of this infantry, he hasn't even left one behind. That could swing the map massively back in favor of Frubblord. He's got to be so careful. The Yakari getting the better of Nilla's infantry. There's one more infantry coming in on the bottom side. Has Nilla run out of infantry? It looks like he might have. I can't really tell for sure until we see pretty much no more infantry coming in, but only one reinforcing squad on the bottom side is worrying. Especially with the amount of infantry he has just lost. Maybe he's going to rely on the T-34s from stopping the Yakari from crossing in the open. But 2 AT guns on the way. Blenheims are going to be coming in with their bombing strike in the center. Ju-88 as well with the carpet bomb. And the T-26 in support to help out with the push back into the town. We're 13-11. Really, really close game. PE2 going to be looking for the rocket strike onto the Su-152. Just got to keep line of sight on it with the Yakari or the Lahetoyunta. He did actually make that fall back. Instead, going to opt to bring in an AT gun to clean that up. Again, I'm not sure he quite has time to hesitate on that. It probably could have just come around for another run. Either way, we're going to see the T-26Bs pushing forwards very aggressively here. T-34-85 trying to move into position to stop this push. Actually, he could have potentially been pulling back that PE2 and saving the rockets so that he could instead use it in the town on the T-34-85s, where there are more flags to be gained. That could be a really, really smart play, actually, from Frubblord. Ju-88 looking for the bombing strike onto the T-34-85 does whiff. The Blenheim coming in for the bombing strike onto some of the infantry, and I think the infantry is the thing that Frubblord really needs to focus on right now. For these Pack 38s, they're going to take advantage of this 1943 getting a little bit too big for its boots. Once again, APCR. Can it break the armor? Gets the turret stuck in the gun jam. Saves this P2 for the other T-34, but it looks like it was taken out by the T-26Bs. What absolute heroes. This one's going to go down. It's 14-10. It's going to be 13-11 for Frubblord. Has Frubblord managed to stabilize It looks like it, and well, Nilla, he might be in trouble. He's bringing in snipers to the center. We don't see any more Gavardia on their way. The PE2 is going to take out the SU-152 on the bottom side. We've got another PE2, or the SU-152 on the top side. Actually going to go for the shot onto the OB-25 instead. Let's pin it down. Not going to get enough damage off though. But look at this. 13-11 in the town. Frubblord's managed to break the back of Nilla's town defense. This is very significant. Another P2 going to be coming in. Frubblord now taking full advantage of his overwhelming air support. Lovely stuff. T-34 goes down. That's going to open up the flag on the bottom side of the town. And now, our Frubblord, all he needs to do is just attack move on the bottom side. He takes even more flags. The Gavardia in the town are going to be cleaned up by the T-26Bs, and well, Nilla knows he's in trouble and actually surrenders. There we have it, 32 minutes 15 seconds. Frubblord takes the second game by the skin of his teeth. That was very close. You could see how Nilla just went all in, especially on that top side, whereby I mentioned if he'd lost those infantry squads, he wouldn't have had anything behind him, which would have been really bad. He did end up reinforcing that top side, but just didn't have anything left elsewhere. And taking back the town was the crucial point for Frubblord to swing back the flags in his favour at a very rapid pace. And Nilla knew that as soon as Frubblord took that town back, it's going to be incredibly hard for him to counter that without any infantry, because although he would have probably some tanks left and so on, they're not going to be able to get close enough to contest the flags without dying, and he's not going to have the information in order to reveal the infantry from range, and so he's pretty much screwed at that point. So Nilla surrendering the game. Frubblord very, very close to losing that game at many points, but held on, got great value out of his units. 4,010 kills to 2,850 losses is nothing to scoff at. So great job by Frubblord to come back from a very, very rough position. Now the double 37mm at the start from Nilla was pretty smart because it did shut down quite a few of the aircraft. But the issue was he did leave the top and bottom side quite vulnerable to those aircraft still, and therefore Frubblord still managed to find value. And so that was a big issue. The Gavardia DP there doing well to pick up the T-26Bs. I believe that was on the top side. Now we have the 152mm off maps. Some of those were a bit questionable, maybe a bit premature, but I think that mainly comes down to perception of the front line. So especially on the bottom side, when he killed the infantry gun, the front line swung forwards massively. He'd already placed down the off map. Now he could have been patient and waited to see what happened, but of course he probably believed that it was well defended, and there was perfect reason for him to believe so. So can't really judge him on that too much. Either way, let's jump over to the losses. Taka Ampuya, fantastic squads. Took out a 37mm, a 76mm, and the 152mm off map. Also took out an enemy sniper and the Aknemachiki squad. I love these Taka Ampuya, they're so good. The Rastavaki, they traded very, very well throughout this game. The Yakari also doing very well. It seemed as though both the Yakari and the Kivari, or the Rastavaki, all kind of countered the Gavardia, because the Gavardia, they don't have SVTs like the Strelki do. So they rely on Mozins, whilst all of the Finnish infantry more or less has like rifles, or at least like at close range, better submachine guns. So they're either the same or better in most cases, the Finnish infantry. And so it looked as though Nilla was struggling to find value with his infantry when he found those infantry on infantry engagements where he couldn't support with a tank nearby. Because that's what the 44th generally relies on. They've got those SU-152s, the T-34-76s, T-34-85s. Those are there to support your infantry. If you can't support the infantry and you're fighting in like close range forest engagements, which Frubblord tried to do as much as he could, then you struggle to get the same value out of your infantry as you otherwise would. Nice job with the P2s, they got plenty of rocket kills, especially quite significant ones against the T-34s and the Su-152s that were stopping the progress of his other units. And I like the way that Frubblord knew to sort of sacrifice certain units in order to allow or unlock his other units to do stuff, especially in the center with the I-153 killing the T-34-76, for example. That opened up the Lahetoyunta to win favorable engagements against the infantry they were coming up against. So, there we go. Either way, fantastic game, and yeah, lots to think about in that one, that's for sure. I absolutely love these competitive games, especially when it comes down to some of the best players in Steel Division 2. Now that was only game 2 of best of 3, so we'll be moving on to the final game, see who comes out on top, and we'll move on to play Sean in the semi-finals. You have to wait and see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.